As summer winds down, that means Illinois construction season starts winding down too, sort of. Here's Sam Matheny to explain IDOT's progress in the cone zone.
2024 was one of the state's busiest construction seasons ever. The new eastbound McCluggage Bridge is one of the major projects that was on the list.
Once the deck is complete, then the contractor can focus on finishing the pavement approaching on the new bridge and install all new fence and railings. And still a lot of work to complete, but we hope to open the bridge to vehicle traffic in early December.
In Tazewell County, Route 24 in Washington remains as it is, down to just one lane, though the lanes will shift next week. The realignment of the Knopfsinger Road and Route 24 intersection is also expected to be complete this month. Then to downtown Peoria, the Cedar Street Bridge is in the first of 3 phases with several years to go. For Peoria County, I-74 at Airport Road is in stage 2 of repairs on the overpass. IDOT hoped to finish here by October of 2025, but it's well ahead of schedule. Weather pending, Rick Szymanski with East Peoria's Streets Department says the nearly $14 million Springfield Road project will finish in roughly 3 weeks before the Festival of Lights Parade and the famous Winter Wonderland. If that holds true, the project from start to finish would only have lasted 6 months.
Crews are milling and paving now, which is getting close to one of the final steps. The final steps, of course, would be cleanup and striping, and there's some concrete work to wrap up.